Hello, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a very subtle subject, which is about narcissistic manipulation. So I was in a relationship with, I believe, that was a narcissist. And if you are in a similar situationship or relationship, I highly recommend to watch this video. So I'm gonna share a very personal experience, so please be kind in the comment section. I know I was naive at the time. I made a lot of mistakes. I was enabling this kind of behavior. I was not leaving this person because of my own emotional wounds from my childhood. But overall, this is not my fault that it happened to me. And I'm grateful for this relationship because it made me who I am today. So please be kind and don't remind me how dumb I was. I know it. So I'm going to start by talking about the beginning of our relationship. So, by the way, I made another video which is called My Twin Flame Story. You can watch this video. I put up a link right here or right here. I was 23 when I met him. He was 28. We had a 5-year relationship. We broke up when I was 28. And right now I'm 30. So it's been almost 2 years that I've been single. And I still hold a lot of anger and resentment towards him because of things that I have experienced in this relationship. Where do I start? I'm going to start that I saw red flags very early on in this relationship. During our first date, while we were having dinner at a restaurant, and he said to me, "This time I'm going to pay for you, but next time we will split the bill." And I thought, okay, I'm fine with that. So fast forward to our relationship. I was paying half of the bills, if not more than a half of our bills. While being in our relationship, I was a student. I was not making any money at all. I was living from my mother's money. He had the audacity to take money from my mother that was for our appliances in our, in our apartment, for things like food. Hello, this is editing me. So I realized that I could be misunderstood by saying that I contributed to our relationship by 50%. So no, there was many occasions when you took advantage of me. One occasion was when we are trying to sell our real estate, and we eventually sold it, and he didn't give me the amount of money that I was supposed to have from this successful deal that we had. Also, another occasion was when I wanted to buy a new car, and you contributed to this purchase by giving me money for this car. And after I gave birth to our firstborn, he told my mother that she should give that money back. And she did, even though he said that money is for free for my car. So there were many occasions that he manipulated me. There were 2 occasions that I covered his taxes for his apartment, and many other smaller examples of financial manipulation. Financially, he was very manipulative. So he manipulated me in saying that the woman should take 50% of financial burden in a relationship, because this is an equal relationship. And I don't agree with that at all, because I feel like relationship can never be 50-50%, because when I met him, I was a student. I was not making any money. If my boyfriend at the time would be a student and I was the one who is making more money, then I would be paying for him, or I would be contributing to our relationship financially more than he is. So I'm not, right now, I have completely different opinion about finances. Okay, so also he was talking a lot about other women, especially the women that he had been in a romantic relationship before me. So also he told me everything when it comes to sex. So basically, I was virgin at the time. I haven't had any sexual intimacy with a man. And he was telling me what those women did to him and what he liked and what not. And I told him that I was a virgin, and he was not good about it. He was basically said, how come you're still a virgin? Like, it's not going to work out for me. But then he agreed to have sex with me. Now I'm going to talk about dark stuff that happened to me, and I went through a lot of therapy because of those experiences. At the time, I wasn't able to understand it. It was psychological manipulation done to me. But right now, I'm fully aware that it was. So during our first time having sex, he undressed me only halfly. So he didn't want to take off my bra, and he said, you can leave it. Just leave it. It's okay. And so we had sex while I was in my bra, and he didn't even touch my boobs. So, my breasts, sorry. So, I thought to myself, okay, it must be that he's not attractive to me because I have small breasts. And I have to accept it because not men will be attracted to my body. And so I internalized this shame that I felt from this first time. I knew that something is wrong, but maybe I thought maybe this is that people do while they have intimate connections. I was very confused at the time, and so we did have sex. By the way, before having sex, he said to me, and this is very, very dark. So he said to me, I want to have a fellatio. He said fellatio, not an oral sex, not a blowjob, but he said fellatio. I want you to do a fellatio for me. And I didn't say nothing, and I was thinking about this maybe for 2 weeks. And then I read this book that helping women to overcome the fear of intimacy, the fear of sex, and the fear of performing oral sex on the male. And I was thinking, okay, this is a challenge to me, but I'm gonna do it because I'm attracted to him. I want to have sex with him. So I did it. And he basically said, like, I'm not good at it, of course. And when I said that if he will do the same for me, he said later. So later never came. Actually, it came 4 years in our relationship. First time he tried to give me an oral sex was after 4 years of our relationship. So I did what I did, and we had sex, like intercourse, normal vaginal intercourse. So, and that was like quite, when I think about that, it's so fucked up in my mind. Like, how could a person, he basically took advantage of me. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, another huge manipulation that was happening is he made very clear that he wanted to have children with me. Not with me, but in general, he was ready to have children. And so I was not ready, but I was, okay, like I want to have children in the future, but not right now because I'm a student, I'm only 23. But basically, the first time he had sex with me, he finished in me. So we were having unprotected sex. I confronted him about this thing. He said to me, oh, I was too turned on. I couldn't hold it. That's why he finished in me. So of course I'm not buying it. He was lying to me. He wanted me to get pregnant, to be attached with him forever. So fast forward 7 months in our relationship, or how many? I think it was about 7 months. I got pregnant, and Oh, before that, I knew subconsciously something is wrong. I knew that somehow he manipulated me in having children with him, and I thought I want to have children because I loved him so much. I was so in love. Basically, I was trauma bonding with him, but I thought I was very in love with him, infatuated. I felt on top of the world, and I wanted to have children. And I thought, okay, maybe this is the right time to have children with him. But subconsciously, I was not ready, and he crossed my boundaries, and I let them, I let it happen. So what did happen to me that I had psychosis because of this situation. I had psychosis episode. And after that, so I had medication that helped me to come back to the normal state of reality. And of course, this was my maybe fifth time having psychosis. So it was not the first time I had it. I had mental issues before. So, but it definitely, this situation with kids definitely made me mentally unstable. Because I knew something was wrong. I couldn't know what exactly. I knew the situation about the kids, but I thought maybe this is something that I want. And I didn't understand that I was having huge abandonment issues, and because of those abandonment issues from my childhood, I agreed to have children with him. I agreed to have unprotected sex, while simultaneously hoping that I will not get pregnant soon. So this is very fucked up situation, I know. So basically I had a psychosis. Then after that, I went back to reality and I said to him, I'm not ready to have children with you. I'm not ready. And he went through complete meltdown after that. He was very emotional. He started to cry. He fell on the floor. He was sitting like that, holding his head. He was, oh my God, you're not ready. This is so bad. And maybe he was serious. He wanted to have children with me so bad. But I was, seeing this kind of drama unfold. And, I took a break maybe for 1 day or 2 days, or actually even maybe the exact same day. I think it was even exact same day that it was happening, that I thought, okay, so he is going to leave me. And he said, this relationship is not going to work because you don't want to have children. So he said, yeah, we have to, separate. And after that, I realized I cannot separate with him. I love him too much. I don't know how to live without him. So I said, yes, forget about it. I'm ready to have children with you. So we went through the whole process, and I got pregnant, and I've got a beautiful daughter. And yeah, that is the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. Not the embarrassing thing, but odd and weird thing that ever happened to me in my life. Okay, so continuing on. So he was not a good lover. So he was having some erectile dysfunction, which I was okay with that. I was okay to put up with that. But he was not a really sexual person. I realized that he was bragging about being like very sexual and wanting to have sex all the time. And maybe he had too high libido for me, when in reality it was opposite. So he was not able to perform sexually. I'm not shaming him for that. Of course, like this was a problem that he need to face, and he need to talk about it, but he didn't. And he liked to have sex only in one sexual position, which was a missionary. And while I said to him, I want to experiment more, I want to experience more things in our sex life, he said, all my previous girlfriends felt like they are little babes under me while I'm fucking them in the missionary position. So you're supposed to be like them. That is the most ridiculous thing that you could ever think of. Coming back to our relationship, in the beginning of our relationship. So he talked about other females that he was dating, and I was listening to all of those stories and I was absorbing it and listening to every little detail because first I was very curious about it. I didn't have any serious relationship, so I was curious about any romantic relationship. And second, I thought that he was being very emotionally vulnerable to me, and we had this special emotional connection that he never had in his life. So I felt special, so I listened to all of those stories. But he was also subconsciously or consciously manipulating me. He wanted me to have insecurities about his standards of females that he was dating. So the standard of the female that he was looking for, he said to me, he wanted a female who is good looking, so physical appearance is very huge factor for him, who is good in bed, who is a freak in bed, who is initiating sex a lot, who is well financially, but at the same time who has to be family oriented, and she has to stay at home. She has to stay at home as much as possible and not go out too much. Okay, she has to want to have kids. So I was listening to all those stories about his previous girlfriends, and he always told the things that he liked and the things that he disliked about them. Also, he mentioned everything about his sexual life with them, what things they did to him, what outfits did they wear. He was even showing me the places where he used to have sex with the women. So at that time, I felt that this is enough for me. And I said to him, please don't ever speak about your previous ex-girlfriends with me because I'm not ready to listen. And I think that he was, at that point, he was very happy about that because he knew he got me. He knew he got me. And the things that he spoke about triggered my insecurities about myself. So he knew he had a control over me in this relationship. So after that, I sought therapy, and it helped me tremendously. It helped me to understand that all the time I was the good one and he was the bad one. When I was feeling all the guilt and shame and that I was not doing enough, I was always the problem. He said to me, I was too emotional because I'm reacting to his anger outbursts, that he was being abusive to me emotionally, psychologically, and I was supposed to be the one who takes all that shit and who is not complaining, who is, also not triggering him. He said to me, you have to learn how to not trigger me because I am having this emotional outburst and you're crying all the time and I don't like that. You must be more stable. You must be stable emotionally. You must not cry. You must learn how to be tough. He said to me, I'm too sensitive. I'm too sensitive. I'm too emotional. All that kind of stuff. So this video is getting too long, so I'm going to leave it at that. After this video, I don't think I have any secrets no more because all my secrets have been exposed in this video. Please don't send hate to me. Looking forward to another video. Bye.